Hi guys, welcome to Farmer Fridays, where I get to interview agriculturists, ag organizations, and ag businesses across the state of West Virginia. My name is Elizabeth Lynch, your Miss West Virginia 2022. Today I'm super excited about our interview. I have Tiffany Summerlin, who's the Executive Director for Operation Welcome Home in the state of West Virginia. So how are you today, Tiffany?
I'm great. How are you, Elizabeth?
Doing really well. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me. You got some really great information that I cannot wait for our viewers to hear.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course. So go ahead and tell me about yourself and if you have any sort of agricultural background.
Absolutely. So my name is Tiffany Summerlin. I'm the Executive Director at Operation Welcome Home. I've actually been in this position for about 4 months. Veterans are near and dear to my heart. I am one myself. I spent 5 years active duty in the Marine Corps. And, as far as agriculture goes, I grew up in a really small town in the state of Oregon, and we had a couple hundred acres and spent a lot of time, with our cattle and had a small garden as well. So as far as, agriculture goes, my experience is somewhat limited, but I'm learning a lot as we go. But I'm super thankful that I have an opportunity to kind of rely on the WVU extension experts that we have in place at Operation Welcome Home for our Veterans Agriculture Training Program.
I know you said you do a little bit of gardening here and there. So do you have anything specific that you love to plant?
I mean, I'm more about the flowers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Growing up, we always had, a vegetable garden, but that's something, personally, since I have been an adult and on my own, we haven't done much beyond container gardens, but I'm definitely, more motivated now that, now that I see, how things can grow so easily. I'm just excited about, just learning a lot more and being able to, provide more, for my family.
I love that. I love that. So first off, I wanted to, of course, thank you for your service. I really appreciate the work that you're doing for our country. So thank you.
Thank you.
The second thing that I'd like to ask you, so a lot of people aren't sure about what Operation Welcome Home is. So can you go into that for me?
Yeah, so about 10 years ago, Operation Welcome Home started. There was a charge for, Morgantown to be a veteran-friendly, location, for veterans to come home to. And 10 years ago was a very different, employment environment. There were a lot of veterans who were coming back home and very limited employment opportunities. And so we needed to provide a way to kind of assist those veterans in attaining meaningful work. When somebody gets out of the military, sometimes that's a really, really big hurdle for somebody to find worth and the ability to continue to give back to their country and their community. And so we know that finding meaningful employment is one of the best ways to go about doing that. And so Operation Welcome Home was born to provide that opportunity. And I think things have just been able to, up until, I started, I think the number of veterans who had been provided full-time employment through the services of Operation Welcome Home was close to about 700 individuals.
Wow.
And there's a lot of services that we provide outside of employment. We really try to take a holistic look at every veteran that comes to us. Just making sure that, if there's a small connection that we can make to a social service or a veteran benefit that can have an impact for them and their family, that is our number one priority, is to just make sure that we have kind of open doors and knock down barriers for veterans. And veterans are quite capable to do a lot on their own, but I will be honest, there are so many social services and the way that things are set up, a lot of times it is so difficult to know how to navigate and finding a solution. And so, through the networking of other people, that is how we do the work that we do. And one thing that I really want to focus on is breaking down silos. I never want somebody to think of Operation Welcome Home as an independent organization. Our success relies so much on the connections that we have with other organizations and other people. And we can't do what we do without the work of others. And I hope that people can think of Operation Welcome Home that way as well. And because I know that we just rely on the expertise of, people who do what they do and do it well. I'm not going to step in and attempt to do something that they do when I
Right.
could just say, hey, let's work together. And I have a veteran who has this need. Can you please, provide me some assistance? And so far, people have been just super willing to help. And so that's been a really good thing to see.
I love that. I love it. So,
Yeah.
how did you personally get involved with this? Because I know you mentioned you were a dental hygienist. So
Yes,
that's a bit of a switch there.
it
So
is a
how did
bit
you
of a
get
switch.
involved?
Yeah, so when Operation Welcome Home was just getting off the ground, my husband and I went on a little adventure. My husband, he decided he would like to run across the United States. And the money that he raised from doing that, some of that came back to Operation Welcome Home. So in March of 2012, he actually took off from Oregon and ended up in Delaware in
Oh,
July. So 100 days later, he had run 3,452 miles.
holy cow.
So that's an average of about 35 miles a day. And I was his crew, me and my two children, and sometimes his mother, sometimes my mother. So that was a unique bonding experience. And it really solidified my love for Operation Welcome Home, because I've definitely sacrificed a lot for the organization as well. And Operation Welcome Home had been led by the same CEO or executive director since it started. And he, recently had another opportunity that he could not turn down. And so there was a vacancy in the executive director position. And I was approached by a few individuals and kind of with the idea. And I thought, interesting. I never really thought about it, but after I've been a hygienist for about 15 years, and I don't know, I was kind of looking for something a little bit different. Dental hygiene is a little, it's a strenuous job physically and mentally, just like, many jobs are. And I guess I took the thought that life is too short to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I just decided to take on that challenge. And it has been a challenge, but it has been very rewarding. And it's exciting to see the potential for Operation Welcome Home. And I'm just excited to be a part of it.
And it's always good to have somebody at the head of the wheel here, who has big ideas and who has big goals for the organization. So that's really exciting to see.
Yeah.
Now, this wouldn't be a Farmer Friday interview if I didn't have some sort of agricultural tie-in here.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about the ag program that you guys have developed for the veterans in West Virginia.
Yeah, so the official name of our agriculture program is Veteran Agriculture Training Program. The end result, we are hoping, will be that we can take a veteran who may have a small passion or small idea that they may be interested in agriculture, and kind of help them to facilitate that into a way to create revenue for them or their family, or just kind of maybe help them to join the veteran farmers in West Virginia. As far as things that have gone on over the past couple of years, worldwide and locally, it is even so much more important that we be aware of the importance of kind of that self-sustained model. And agriculture is one of the easiest ways to, create that self-sustainability in a personal way, even outside of, it being your job. And, we'll take that, person just like me who has an interest in growing things to somebody who really wants to make it, maybe they want to create a business that they want to grow specific crops. And, we can help them to make those connections and provide a way for them to, to be able to maybe put high tunnels on their property, and we can, connect them to the USDA, and they can do all those things at a very low cost, as long as they have the passion and the business plan to put forth. And we can help them with all of that, from, deciding if it's something they want to do. We have business classes, we get your hands dirty in the high tunnel classes, to poultry classes. So if somebody comes to us that wants to pursue agriculture, we can definitely kind of make all those connections for them and just help them decide what they want to do.
I love that. Now, you have workshops once a month, correct? And that's a wide range of different topics and things like that, correct?
Yes. So typically what we're doing right now is we're kind of in our phase of the program. It's a 3-year program. It has kind of little cycles that it goes through. So previous to the high tunnel program was kind of the business side of farming. And so we went over a lot of kind of like risk mitigation. How do you make the right choice for your business plan? And so now we are into the high tunnel growing phase. And so Dr. Lewis Jett is a WVU extension specialist, and also a professor at WVU in the agriculture program. And, he's been great to get the high tunnel close to being fully planted. We're getting ready to kind of change some things over, as summer kind of winds down. And the interesting thing about a high tunnel is you can grow crops in it all year round. But, you just have to change, what crops you are growing, for different hardiness levels and things like that. And so as far as the workshops go, right now, those are, high tunnel related. And we actually have an exciting workshop coming up on August 23rd. We're actually doing a farm tour. And you can find all that information about the programs that we have on our Facebook group. Actually, if you just go to Facebook and search Operation Welcome Home and look at our groups, there is, we call it the VAT, Veteran Agriculture Training, the VAT program. So you can find that group, follow that group, and you can get all that information.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that information.
You're welcome.
What kind of benefits would being a part of this program provide to veterans? Now, you've already mentioned potentially gaining a career or getting revenue from being a part of agriculture. What are the benefits are there?
Well, as far as, becoming a participant in our program, I think the connection to different subject matter experts is an amazing experience. I know that there have been quite a few people since I've started that have, kind of gone down that path of asking very specific, pointed questions about problems they are having with their garden, what have you, at their home. And they're already kind of starting to evolve and improve their systems that they have at home. And, for the typical participant, it is a great opportunity to experience agritherapy, and that is something that I think a lot of people don't realize the benefit. I love going into the high tunnel. Like this morning, I typically, when I get to work every morning, I stop at the high tunnel on my way to work, because it's a couple hundred yards away. So, on my way to work, I stop, but take a look at everything and, water what needs watered, and just kind of, get my eyes on it and just spend that, 10, 15 minutes there. And it's a great way to start the day. And I think there's a lot of benefit for the veteran population, who unfortunately has a very large a large share of mental health problems. To get involved into agriculture, there is a lot of there are just a lot of benefits in growing things and putting your heart and soul into something and seeing it produce good things that you can then share with others. So
It's
I think
very fulfilling work.
absolutely, absolutely. I think it would not be fair to say that it's not hard work, but I think there's so much that it can give back to you by your dedication and your hard work that comes back to you.
Thank you. So I love that. So Operation Welcome Home isn't just this agricultural program. It doesn't just have that one program. Can you go into the other programs that you guys provide as well?
Yeah, so from the very beginning, Operation Welcome Home has been an employment resource agency first and foremost. And just like I said, how a lot of veterans who are just getting out or have been out for 10, 20, 30 years, they're looking for something new for employment. And when it comes to veterans and employment, sometimes we have a different way of thinking about things that needs to be addressed so that we can kind of get into a new type of workforce. And whether it be taking a look at a veteran's resume that's full of acronyms and kind of a language that maybe many civilians can't understand, or it's not something that's easily digestible or translatable to the job that they want in, outside of the military. So that's one of the things that we do for anyone who is looking for, a new way of working, a new location. We take a look at their resume, go over different things to help them to be more marketable. Whether it be they need help with interviewing, what they're wearing. And we really try our best to not make assumptions and make stereotypes. Every veteran is different. Every veteran has a unique situation. And so to me, it's just very fulfilling to kind of go through all of those different situations with people and kind of join them on their journey of being able to live their best life. And sometimes a job is the door that opens up that family to living in a whole new way. And we're just happy to be able to provide an opportunity for veterans to, better themselves. And it's really not just about employment either. Sometimes people will come to us and they don't need help with employment. Maybe they need a social service, or, maybe they're going to be late on rent. They need to find out, hey, is there, any service available to help me? And what I have learned, in really over the last 10 years being a dental hygienist, working in public health, there are so many things that are available to the public, but sometimes they are really hard to navigate and find ways to kind of onboard onto those programs and really kind of cut the red tape and get connected to solving problems, because there's so many things going on that sometimes people just get lost and they can't figure out how to really make that connection so they can get helped without feeling overwhelmed because they don't exactly know where to go. And so what we want people to understand is that if there's anything that you need, as a veteran or your family, that, you just need somebody to talk to kind of bounce things off of. If there's any questions that you think maybe things could be a little bit better, we are a great call to make, because we can easily kind of connect veterans to, different organizations that are well poised to handle their situation in a very excellent way. We never try to say that, we are the ones to solve the problems. we are the great connector. And that's just an awesome feeling to kind of have all these other organizations kind of in our pocket to be able to connect people to, so they can do the job that they are really good at.
Now, if somebody wants to become involved with Operation Welcome Home, either as a volunteer or as a veteran themselves, how can they get a hold of you guys?
So, for a veteran who is interested in maybe learning about what we do, you can always stop by our office. We're at 452 Milan Park Lane. If you're out this way, we have an open door policy. You can come by anytime. If you just want to sit on our couch and, kick your feet up on the coffee table, you can do that as well. Or you can call us, at our phone number. It's 304-816-4854. You can go on our Facebook page, just search Operation Welcome Home, and you can find us there, or you can go on our website. It is welcomehomewv.com.
And I'll have all of those links provided in this video in the post, so people can just click right on it if they're interested.
Absolutely.
Now, my final question for you is something that I ask everybody that I interview. So this might stump you potentially, but hopefully you love it, because I love this question so much. I was heavily involved in FFA growing up, and the FFA creed begins with, "I believe in the future of agriculture." So why do you personally believe in the future of agriculture?
So I think that the future of us as a community, of us as a group of like-minded individuals who can have a future, is very dependent upon the health of our agriculture system. Because without that, we cannot be healthy individuals. So hopefully that answered it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, so everybody has their own belief as to why we should believe in the future of agriculture. And I know for me personally, for us, we have no choice not to believe in it, because we have to eat. We have this ever-growing population that is going to need to be fed. So it's our job as agriculturists to ensure that people are going to be able to eat. So yes, your belief system, it's perfect. I love that answer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I think too, as a dental hygienist, and having a lot of understanding about the human diet and how it impacts the body both in negative and positive ways, that just kind of furthers my my opinion that having very nutritious quality foods available to people that unfortunately a lot of people are not getting that healthy diet now, just because of things are so processed, and the things that we like to eat are not healthy. So the more that we can provide opportunities for people to try new things that are healthy, I think that's a really good, awesome experience.
That's perfect. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me today, Tiffany. I really appreciate you taking your time to speak with me, and I really hope that my viewers at home are able to get a lot of great information from it, because this is a phenomenal program that I really wish more people knew about.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course. All right, guys, that ends today's Farmer Friday interview. I am super excited that you were able to watch this, and please stay tuned for next week's interview. And as always, please remember to thank your farmers.